Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I'm talking about the new comics that I picked up on January 22nd, 2020. I have not had a chance to read any of these. I'm doing really bad on my New Year's goal, my resolution or whatever, to read every comic that I get each week. I'm gonna have to catch up next week and the week after that, and hopefully by the middle of February, I'll be back on track. Maybe by the end of February, because I'm going out to Portland and Seattle and all of that in just 2 weeks. But anyway, let's talk about the comics that I picked up, the pickups that I got this week. That's what I was about to say, but I was like, that's not the word I wanted to say, but it is, maybe, kind of, but I never say it anyway. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about all these new comics. Okay, first of all, I got I think this was originally DC Zoom or DC Ink. I can't remember which imprint was which, but now they're just branding it DC Graphic Novels for Kids, and that's fine. Also, they're all really, really fun. I like these a lot. They're not difficult reads. Of course, they're for kids. They're the subject matter and the reading difficulty is geared toward kids, but I enjoy them as well, and I think anybody who likes these characters would enjoy it. I only read the first couple of pages of this, but I am excited for it. Diana, Princess of the Amazons, and she's got her little pet cheetah there on the cover, and it's like playing with her last. Oh, that's so funny. That's great. So yeah, the artwork is very cute. And the story, it's about her as a kid. So, if you like Wonder Woman, check this out. I haven't read it yet, but what I have read of it, it's great so far. All right, here we go into the comics. These are not in the correct order to talk about. They're not in alphabetical order. This is just the order that they ended up in. Fantastic Four, issue number 18. This is Point of Origin, part 5. I am tragically behind on this one. I think I was doing pretty good at staying caught up on this one, but I think I'm at least 7 issues behind, maybe more. But I did read that. It was a couple of kind of side quests that went on in the last couple of months. So I feel like I'm maybe sort of, it counts as maybe being caught, but not really at all. Then we have Shazam, issue number 10. We have a bunch of gingerbread men attacking Shazam. The Gingerbread War. I don't know what's going on here at all, but I'm excited to find out when I get caught up on that eventually. One of the 3 covers that I picked up of Wonder Woman number 750. This is I got the 1960s cover by J. Scott Campbell. This is really cool. It's got her in kind of a Kill Bill outfit, her in the kind of a dancing gear, and then also with kind of a country disco baby outfit with the tassels and everything. White leather and tassels. That's definitely a 60s look. I don't know what context. What I think that's like a Western look. I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the. I'll get to the other 2 that I picked up in just a second. Actually, you know what? They're right here. I got the main cover, which has Wonder Woman holding up the globe. I don't know the cover artist because they didn't put it on this one. This is just the main variant. And then I also picked up the 1950s variant by Jenny Frison, or however you pronounce her last name. I'm not sure. But talk about her a lot. I should know for sure by now. But anyway, yeah, this cover is super awesome. And I think this might be her last one. I'm not sure. If this isn't her last one is very soon. But I have a feeling this one might be her last for this run of Wonder Woman variants. She's been doing them for a long time, for dozens of issues. It's going to be. It's not going to be the same at all. Then we have Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter, issue number 4, the conclusion of this story. I am super excited. I actually am going to read this before I go to bed tonight. I went. There were a few books. All the books I mentioned so far, they were not shipped to my local comic book shop, Hall of Justice Comics, until kind of late. There's like a rush ship to get get all of those books that were not part of that didn't come in their order. They were supposed to be in there and all of that. And so I actually went back again today. I picked up most of my comics yesterday on Wednesday. Then I went back today because I knew that this comic was in there and I want to read it. Not as soon as possible, otherwise I would have already read it, but I wanted to read it before this weekend. So I'm setting that aside so I remember to read that as soon as I'm done talking about all these. Then we have Justice League Odyssey number 17. This actually came out last week, but I swapped it out to get the variant cover, and I am glad that I did because this variant is pretty awesome. You've got like an energy blast splitting it up into like radial fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fifths. One of the fifths is just what's his Darkseid's shoulder, but you know, it's still hits. The rest of them have characters and all that. It works out. Then we have Wonder Woman issue number 11, the viral villainy of Colonel 86. Is that I don't know if that's part of the design or if there's just like a flaw in the cover there. But anyway, Wonder Twins is so fun. And also I really like the Wonder Twins connection in Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW. It's right there at the end. I'm not going to, look out for it. You'll know it when you see it and hear it. But then we have Vampironica New Blood, issue number 2 of 4. I've really liked all the Vampironica and Jughead the Hunger stuff, so excited for that. I can't remember if I've read issue number 1 of this one yet. I kind of feel like I did, and then I was like sort of lost because I hadn't read Jughead the Hunger / Vampironica the crossover yet, and I think it was coming out of that. But anyway, Vampirella issue number 7. I think this is the B cover, but she's laying on a bed of dead cheetahs with all kinds of bones and stuff. Or are those the cheetahs? No, they're sleeping. Those are the bones of other animals. They're content. They've eaten a bunch of stuff, I think. I hope that's what's going on, and that she didn't murder all of these big cats. But anyway, that might not have anything to do with what's going on in the actual comic. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends number 21. Oh, also in this episode, I am not going to talk about the comics that are coming out next week, because I realized, like, as I was recording last week's episode, I realized I was just like repeating myself a lot when I was talking about what was coming up. So I'll just talk about all the books when they come, something like that. I think that's what I meant to say. Anyway, Superman issue number 19. I got the variant cover here with him flying low over traffic in Metropolis. They're probably not happy with the broken windows that surely is causing with that nearby flyby. Then I have Once and Future issue number 6. I really need to get on top of reading this one. Oh, and I forgot to ask them. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 47. I think this is the last issue, because it was already ordered when I asked them to unsubscribe me. But we'll see. I guess we'll see in a month, or I could just message them and ask them if I remember. I probably will not remember to do that. Then we have Middle West number 14. This is a pretty cool cover with a real close-up on, I think is that a robot's face or like a gas mask? I don't know. It's cool. I like it. It's different from the other. Most of the other covers have like some type of landscape and stuff like that, but this one has that close up. There's probably a reason for that. Then we have Metal Man number 4. Got both covers for this one, and I think I'm going to cut back and just get the variant. But we have all of them there on the variant cover, posed on a couple of pedestals, looking like they're having a lot of fun. And then they're also having a lot of fun and having the best day ever at RoboCon 2020. So having just attended and been at a convention, I'm excited to see what's going on with that. Is it more like a comic book convention, or is it more like an industry show, like where they're seeing like all the latest upgrades, like a tech show kind of thing, that kind of convention? I guess we'll see. Marauders issue number 6. I think this is the main cover. It looks like Catherine Pride. Is that her? She's fighting a dude with a fire sword. So hopefully she can take care of that. And then what's his name is up there in the back. They're fighting on the ship and then there's stuff. Anyway, I am caught up on this kind of, but I skipped an issue, which I should go back and read. But each issue is focused on somebody different, so I wasn't really missing out on a lot. I wasn't super lost, having skipped one issue of that. And then we have Hell Arisen issue number 2. I think I read issue number 1, but I can't remember. But more Batman Who Laughs stuff going on, continuing the year of the villain, even though it's now next year. So it's year 2 of the villain. Detective Comics issue 1019. That's what I jumped back into. Okay, so I was telling my friend Bobby Breed, Art of Breeds, look him up on Instagram. His artwork is amazing. And I told a story having met him back in the Great American Comic Con in Las Vegas back in October, I think it was. That's when I first met him. Anyway, I was telling him about I couldn't remember which book it was from, but I told him it was weird because it seemed like all this stuff was going on. I was just trying to figure out because I was jumping into the middle of it. But there were the 2 pages where Bruce Wayne was playing with the dogs, and I really loved that. And it was great. And now that I'm reminded that that's where it happens, I might have to go take some pictures of those pages just to send to him. But anyway, then we have Deja Thoris issue number 2. I can't remember if I read issue number 1 here, but this cover is pretty dope. Did I say dope a couple of times already this episode? I don't know. I'd say it's a fitting word for this cover. Great artwork, and Deja Thoris has some cool stuff going on. I'm still trying to get caught up on reading Warlord of Mars Attacks, which has Deja Thoris and John Carpenter of Mars with Mars Attacks, aliens, and all that. It's weird, but it is fun. Then we have Batman Superman issue number 6, Aftermath of the Infected. So I need to read all of this, see what's going on. I've been getting hints of what's going on in Batman Superman with Supergirl. It keeps saying hey, go read Batman Superman so you know what's going on. I can't do that yet. I just want to keep reading Supergirl. But now it seems like this is the time to go back and get caught up. Then Batman Curse of the White Knight, book 6. This is out of 12, I think. I just happened upon seeing that the other day. I was like, I did not realize that this was so many parts. I would have thought this has to be the most issues of a Black Label book yet. But it is not that square binding that it's. I feel like it was that Curse of the White Knight was binded like that in the first few issues. That kind of bums me out. And then we have Batgirl issue number 43. I got the Terry Dodson, Rachel. Wait, is that his name? Or do they work together on something? I need to confirm this. They did the last variant cover as well, but let's see. Where is it? What? They didn't put the variant artist in the credits. What are you doing? That is That's a real bummer. That they didn't put the variant cover artist on in the book itself. But I think it's Terry Dodson, Rachel. What if that's their full? It's Terry something. Anyway, I really like this cover. It's like a 50s 60s style. She's doing the fingered eye thing, and it's fun. I like it. And then we have basketball of heads. That's not what it's called. Basketful of Heads, issue number 4, and also chapter 10 of Sea Dogs is in there. I have not been reading Sea Dogs because I knew I would just forget all of them. So hopefully, when it comes to a conclusion, it'll not be too much of a task to get out all of these books to read all those. But anyway, Basketful of Heads is pretty cool. I've liked it so far. I'm looking forward to reading this issue. I don't know how many parts it will end up being. Maybe it's just a 6-parter. Maybe this is the finale. Maybe it's an ongoing series and will go on forever. I don't know. But anyway, that's all the comics I picked up this week. I'm excited to read all of these. There's only the couple of lingering ones, like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I think that's really the only one that I for sure have unsubscribed. Well, maybe not for sure. That I think that I unsubscribed from because I haven't been reading it. But we'll see. I don't know if I subscribed to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers crossover because I haven't. Oh, maybe the second issue hasn't even come out yet. I don't know. If I was going over what's coming out next week, then I would know for sure. But anyhow, so just to talk again real quick, I maybe didn't even talk about this in a previous episode yet. But this past weekend, I was at Albuquerque Comic Con, and it was awesome. There were lots of people there who I had met at previous conventions, including Bobby, who I just talked about a few minutes ago, but also Christopher Wilson and Holly Randall, who are both awesome. But they have very different artwork, but they tour together and they do shows, and they're absolutely so Holly is Flying Frog Illustrations. Go look her up on Instagram. So she was. Both of them were there as well. I was really excited that they were there. And then who else? There are a few people who I also know or had met before, but I did not. I wasn't able to go talk to them. When I tried, they were not at their booths yet because I think they were also doing the same thing that I did, and got set up before the show opens, and then took a few minutes to go walk around or whatnot. And so I missed a couple of them, including Sour Bunny and a couple of other people. I can't remember their names off the top of my head because I didn't actually see them. And I would remember better if I actually saw them. But also, the people around me were awesome. On my left was a guy named Matthew. He had this really cool photography and was talking to me about all these like old photography methods. He's an older guy. So that was cool talking to him. And then on my right was Andrew Clayton, who's written a number of books. Go look him up on Amazon. You can get his books on Kindle or in print. And they're all like horror and thriller and stuff, but he has some other books that are coming up, and we talked about possibly me working on a cover for one of them, and I'm super excited for that. And hopefully I can tell you about. I will tell you all about it on here and on my social media accounts everywhere whenever that actually gets done and starts getting promoted and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it was super cool being next to him. He's really nice, and hopefully I get to attend a few more conventions with him. And then we had Stephanie across from me, her company or her booth name is Pop Studios. Oh my gosh, I should have had this ready to say a little bit. Studio Poptopia. That's what it on Instagram. Studio.poptopia. And she's an amazing photographer, and the stuff that she had at this show, because she also does portraits and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that she has at this show is like Funko Pops and stuff like that, photographed in like real places, like in the wilderness and flowers and all kinds of stuff. And it's awesome. And this it was really awesome getting to know her and her brother and her family who was there throughout there, because they're from nearby in Albuquerque. And I'm looking forward to working on some stuff with her as well. And then also who is from California. Her Instagram, I want to tell you guys, is, I think it's Weist.art, or let's see, Weist.art. So, or YS. So, okay. I don't know how to actually say her Instagram handle. But it is WHYST.art, ART, on Instagram. There you go. And then her website is Art of My Van. That's ARTOF, of course, those two words. And then her name, My Van, MAIVAN.com. And I got this wonderful illustration she did of Bruni from Frozen 2, and she sold out of, she did two versions of it, and she sold out of one of them. I was able to get the other one, and I was really happy that I could get at least one of the two. But yeah, her art is awesome. Go check out her page. And then also, let's see, who else was out and about. We had, this is all the plugging the other artists section. So, Studio Poptopia, Art of Breed, I already mentioned him, of course. Red Fox Ginger Studio. She does this great art, ink and watercolor art. It's at red.fox.ginger_studio. Check her out there. Also, a guy named Jacob, also from Albuquerque, J Spill Art. His artwork remind me a lot of like Tank Girl. He's like, oh yeah, I have a Tank Girl illustration right there, and he's really excited to talk about Tank Girl, and that was great. But at J Spill Art, go check out his stuff. I got a Tank Girl and a couple of Batgirl prints from him, and also swapped some stickers. And then at Key.Lamy has some great stuff as well. And at Caramella Art, or Caramel Arts, I got some great Star Wars prints from her. But she was also there with her friends, Silent Songs _draw. So it was cool talking to them as well. I only really talked to them like right at the end of the convention. And I should have talked to them a lot earlier, but it was sometimes how stuff was set up, like if there's like even like one solid wall between you and another, at least for me anyway, that's like enough of a barrier to not not cross that barrier and go talk to the people on the other side of that. So it was kind of that type of situation with them that I didn't actually go talk to them until that actual barrier was not there anymore. But anyway, lots of stuff learned at this convention, but the convention is the best one for me personally yet. I'm really encouraged by it, whereas the last couple I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore, or something like that. But like this had me think like, okay, I do know somewhat what I'm doing, and I'm figuring it out, and I'm getting more excited about it. Other people are getting more excited about it, and that's great. So I'm just going to keep on going. I've been adding more shows, a bunch more in Colorado, and all that. Go to demonjackal.com. I've been adding the stuff that's for sure happening. I've added up on there, but there's a couple more that I haven't put up yet. That I just want for more specific details before I put those on there, and when they're confirmed and all that. So yeah, I'm getting excited for it. My next show is in Las Vegas in the middle of March. It's the Toy and Comic Expo, Las Vegas Toy and Comic Con, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Go to the website. Go to demonjackal.com. I have the link to the the website so you can see what it's actually called. But for that, I'm preparing by making. Hopefully I can make at least, I've already made one, but I want to make at least 9 more, and maybe like all of these Kid Robot DIY Money World's blank vinyl figures, and paint them all. And I experimented with doing watercolor paint on one of them, and it turned out awesome. And I'm going to just continue that process with doing the watercolor. I think it's going to be really cool. But and then I'll probably do some other ones with just doing acrylic, mix it up a little bit. But they're going to be like all original toys, and it's going to be for this toy convention. And I'll have my other stuff too, but I want something more geared towards toys. And then also I'll probably do some stuff that's geared towards existing toys, like 2D art of existing toys, in addition to these new original 3D toys that I've just started working on. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Go at the Demon Jackal on Instagram, and you can see some of the pictures of that in the story so far. Maybe if you look at it in time, but I'll be posting more and more of those as I make them. So yeah, that's it. Shoot me messages about comics and all this stuff by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the internet multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.